Well, hello the new, and good morning from me, Leonard Wells, broadcasting as usual from Studio B here in the GIGGLEMILL in Haslingden, north of Manchester in the UK. The GIGGLEMILL is, as you know, state of the art, and IMAX and 3D have got nothing on us, so watch out for the finest special effects in this media. And we have a couple more politically incorrect stories today. Today they're about our friends from across the water in Ireland, and I hope nobody will be offended, because no offence is meant. But every nation makes fun of some other nation when they're telling funny stories. Have you noticed? Anyway, in these two particular little tales, they concern the character of the Irish. And in the first one, that'll be 6 o'clock. It's these oaks, you know, they keep you as regular as a clock. In the first little tale, Paddy and Seamus, who used to go out quite regularly to get drunk, and I mean drunk, falling down drunk, and they go to this bar which has just been completely refurbished, and they haven't been in there for a long time. And in one corner, one end of the room, the whole wall was a mirror. Oh, from top to bottom. Oh, 20 metres by 3 or 4. Huge it was. Anyway, Paddy and his friend Seamus were getting down in the Guinnesses and following up with Irish whiskey chasers, so they were getting right blotto. And after a while, and of course they were well smartly turned out too, after a while Paddy notices the reflection in the mirror of the two of them, you see. So he says, Seamus, he says, am I not wrong? He says, but are those two fellas at the end of the room there not looking at us? So his friend Seamus says, I think you're right, he said. And he said, they're even dressed the same, so sure they are. So Paddy says, are you sure? He says, I think I'll go and have a word with them, he says, to be on the safe side, he said. So as he gets up to go across, his friend Seamus says, no, he says, sit down, he says, one of them's already on his way over to speak to us. Thank you. In the next little tale, there's an Englishman and an Irishman and a Frenchman, and they're out in the desert, and the only item of food they have left at the end of the first day is a small pie. A little round pork pie, oh, about this big. And they can't decide, it's too small to cut up, so they can't decide which of them will have it, you see. So they came to the idea that whoever had the most interesting dream in the night would get to eat the pie. So they all lay down, hopefully, thinking about the pie. And when they woke up next morning, the Englishman says, well, he says, I don't know about you chaps, he said, but I think I won the pie, he said, because I had a dream in which I rule the world. And the Frenchman says, oh no, he said, I deserve the pie, he said. I had the dream in which I rule the universe, so I get the pie. So Paddy the Irishman, he says, sure, he says, I beat the lot of you, he says, I had a dream in which I was starving to death, so I woke up and I ate the pie. Thank you and good night, folks.